Shalom, Israel. It's your boy New Breed, aka Brother Emmanuel. And I have a very special guest this evening, and we're about to drop some groundbreaking information. And most of all, this video is pretty much to promote awareness. I want brothers and sisters to know what's going on, what's taking place in this world in these days. Um, we are definitely on the cusp of a new world order, or what they would call a new world order, because people are being targeted, people are being silenced, and this is a real epidemic taking place. So I brought in a special guest to really bring some facts about the symbolism and why some of this is occurring, and hopefully this can make you all aware of what's taking place here on this foundation. Hey, brother Young Steel, aka Mark Aria. With no further ado, brother, how's it going, fam?
Man, everything is good. I'm blessed, to be here for another day.
Most
Giving
definitely.
all praises and thanks to the Most High, Yahweh.
Most definitely.
Trying to stay in the truth and trying to get this truth out here. Starting off, as far as why we are targeted, and first thing we need to understand is this is a spiritual warfare. There's a spiritual realm and there's a physical realm. So everything has a spiritual component before it reaches the physical. So a lot of times when we're being targeted, being chased around, being followed to grocery stores, next door neighbors making loud noises, tires being popped, people in the workplace manipulating you, looking at you certain ways. This is all because Satan has an agenda. And Satan, he has to work through people. So a lot of these people that you see following you around, doing all this demonic activity, it's to manipulate you and make you fall off, speaking the truth of Yahweh and making you be one of them.
Most
The targeting is that you either kill yourself or you join us. That is the whole point of this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's deep.
So,
and
is there anything else you would like to
yeah,
ask,
most definitely. I got a lot of questions for you, brother, because I want no stone unturned in this particular interview.
Yeah.
One thing for sure is you're absolutely 100% correct. It's definitely spirit. It's definitely in the spiritual realm. It starts off in the spiritual realm and manifests, and it's definitely demonic energy and forces moving through people. But my next question to you, brother, is do you believe that it's possibly a governmental structure, maybe CIA, maybe FBI, that's actually pointing certain individuals out? And how do you think, if so, if they are like outlining certain people and members of society, what criteria do you think these particular people have to fall under to be labeled a threat, or labeled as someone that they have to watch?
Okay, so basically the reason why these people are able to gang stalk people is because we're living in a time of technology. And with technology, you're able to track people. It could be through Instagram, it could be through Facebook, it could be through YouTube. Like even us having this debate right now, they could see this, you know what I'm saying? But besides the point, they trying to cut me off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, they use social media as a platform to target people. You know what I'm saying? You could post something on your Facebook wall and say, "Black people, we need to stand up revolution," and you could have a video, you know what I'm saying, on your timeline, and that video right there could make you a target. Just you posting a revolutionary video on your Facebook timeline can make you a targeted individual, because why? You're posting something that the average person on Facebook doesn't post. You're making videos that the average person in America doesn't make. You're speaking about topics and things that the average person in America doesn't speak about.
Right.
So you stand out like a white man in the ghetto. You know what I'm saying? Not to
of course,
spit punchlines and shit, but yeah, I'm just using that as a metaphor.
Right,
you
right,
stand
of course.
out.
Of
You know what
course.
I'm saying? And they have this thing called COP, Citizens on Patrol.
Right.
Okay? And what citizens on patrol is basically people who don't have a lot of money, people that live in the projects, a lot of people that gang stalk, these are poor individuals. A lot of gang stalkers happen to be African American people. A lot of black people are involved in gang stalking. Why? Because they get $100 gift cards at the end of the month. And basically it's like if you participate in Citizens on Patrol, it's like if you get pulled over by the police, they're not gonna really mess with you like that because it's like you're a gang stalker, you're part of the program. So there's like certain benefits that they get. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's
Right.
like if you work with us, the police, then we won't harass you because you're part of our team.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it's
Right.
like
Right.
if I sign up to be a gang stalker, to follow somebody around for the police, for the system, there's certain benefits that I get. I get $100 gift cards at the end of the month. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If I get pulled over, they might not fuck with me like that,
Right.
but
Right.
they might fuck with another nigga because I'm part of the program.
Now
You
for
see what I'm saying?
right. Now for all listeners, man, that may think that this is far fetched or too far out of the box, let me just explain to you that agencies, I'm talking about $1 million agencies like the CIA, FBI, police department, all of these FBI and CIA, these places they spy on the ghetto. I mean, during the civil rights movement, they were watching the poor. They were actually watching poor people. That's what the FBI was actually started for. They were actually watching poor individuals. So don't think for a second that, people are not that important to the powers that be. Because clearly, one mind that thinks outside of the box can be, that can be the nail that breaks the camel's back. That can be what triggers a lot of individuals to thinking outside of the status quo and not being sheeple.
Yeah, I also wanted to say another thing. It's not just African Americans who gang stalk. It's also European white people who are gang stalkers too. But
And get gang
African
stalked.
Americans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It,
just said African Americans because they would be more likely to do it because maybe they're in positions where they're not doing financially that good.
right.
So it would be easier to go to a black person and say, hey, just follow this guy around here and there. We'll give you $100 here. We'll give you discounts here, discounts there. The average person is going to do it. Why? Because 9 times out of 10, the person who's gang stalking you doesn't believe in God, doesn't believe in no spiritual deity. He's just a physical being who believes in the physical aspect of the world. You know what I'm saying? But like Bob Marley said, what is a man to profit, to gain the world to lose his soul? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
basically when you're participating in gang stalking, it's a form of witchcraft, man. It's like you're performing witchcraft on somebody.
Right.
Because now every aspect of this individual's life, somebody is there to watch and see what this person is doing. There have been reports of people committing suicide from gang stalking, man. A lot of people have killed themselves for this, man.
Right.
Because they're going to work, their tires are getting flat every time they get off of work. They're always in financial debt. They can never pay the bills. Their credit gets fucked up. Life becomes a living hell.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It just gets to the point where people kill themselves. So the whole thing, the whole reason for gang stalking is to make you go crazy, commit suicide, or join their team and stop doing what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And to isolate you.
Yeah.
To make you feel alone.
Exactly.
To make you question, like, damn, why am I doing this? You know what I'm saying? Because if everybody's isolating you, you be like, damn, maybe I shouldn't do this no more.
And also, brother, I'm gonna propose another question to you, but there's a brother from Seattle, Washington. He's actually a whistleblower. He was talking about some of the experiments they were doing on the homeless and how they actually certain people who were targeted individuals, they actually pretty much kidnapped these people and ran experiments on them. And he had a long dossier and he was really, giving a lot of information. And one bit of information he also brought out was not only do they like to isolate individuals, but they target individuals who don't mind being isolated, who would, speak the truth even if it cost them everyone. And the brother was cut off. The brother was cut off. We're gonna continue this interview. One moment. All right, so starting back off where we left off, the brother got cut off, but we're back. The powers that be trying to stop this discussion. Me and this brother always try to connect, man, but through these phone lines, man, we always have a hard time. And I guess it's because of what we building on. But welcome back, brother.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom. But now I was just asking you a question before we got cut off. It was another question kind of about how they choose people and how, what criteria. And I was telling you that it's a brother out of Seattle, Washington. He's a whistleblower. And he was talking about basically how, they like to target individuals who can be isolated as well. Because a person who can be isolated, they deem them as being highly intelligent, and but basically he talked about all they pay attention to what field of work you do, what kind of cognitive skills you have. They pay attention to how you think. If you pretty much think differently from anybody else, they're watching you. So this is not, just to clarify everything, this is not a race specific agenda. It's more so pretty much they're trying to silence individuals who think differently and can teach others to think outside of their construct. But my question to you, brother, was, now that I caught everybody up to speed, but my question is, what do you think the end game is for these people? What do you think their goal is to these targeted individuals? I know you said before that they want an individual to kill themselves, but I'm sure that they the system and the powers that be like to exploit people's intelligence in ways. And what do you think about them experimenting on people? Do you think that's taking place, or do you think that's conspiracy? Your thoughts?
I think that it's been taking place, but it's just people are getting smarter, so we can see it now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They've been doing things like this because even in the 70s.
Oh, you sound a little muffled, brother. Speak up a little bit.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, so they've been doing this since the beginning of time. You know what I'm saying? Even since the days of Jesus Christ, you had traitors. You had your Judas that would go back. And that's the same thing that gang stalking is today. It's just modern day things that were happening in the Bible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? One of Jesus' disciples traded him in.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing you have in today's life. You have family members trading in their own people to be targeted and to be stopped.
For financial gain.
So to answer your question, the end game is really spiritual righteousness against evil wickedness.
Yeah.
So basically, it's like Satan knows that the time is up.
Right.
So he's trying to collect as much souls as he can.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? We in the last days, man. Tribulation, revelation, whatever you want to call it, we are in those days. Everything you've seen in the Bible, all the scriptures that you read in the book of Revelation is happening right now.
Most definitely.
It's happening right now.
I have another.
When you watch those Bible movies of the rapture, where people getting raptured and going to paradise, you know what I'm saying? And the people that got left behind, you know what I'm saying? It's like if you didn't get the trip, then they would follow you around, try to behead you, cut your head off, and the people who got the. So basically, the point of everything that's going on right now is that every human being in the whole entire world get chipped. They don't want to do money no more. They're done with money. If you go to like Japan and China and India, they living by the chip.
Right.
We living by the truth. So
Also, brother,
yeah,
I got more questions for you. Um,
yeah.
Also, in the scriptures it says to be wise as a serpent, but harmless as a dove. So I want to kind of come up with some ways to avoid being under the radar, and one thing I was thinking is that one thing that I noticed, and I haven't really told a lot of my subscribers that I've had I had a real series of unfortunate events that couldn't have been it couldn't have been by coincidence, and I myself am a victim of gang stalking, and that's why we speak about this so passionately to promote awareness. But um one
Hey,
thing
I
I
want
one
to say that
one
your phone keep coming in and out. I'm still here with you.
yeah.
Uh,
One thing I noticed, I had let's just say I had an issue or situation with a person who happens to be a Freemason, and I believe this person is a low level Freemason, but from my research, and I want to see if you can add to this, but according to my research, I read a book. It's called Freemasons: The Secret Society That Hijacked the World. And one thing it does, it says in this book, is when you make enemies, when a basically if you make an enemy with a Freemason, especially ones on the lowest levels, they're taught to actually gang stalk. Now it's not worded in that particular way, but one thing is for sure is low level entry members of Freemasonry. One of the things they got to do to actually move up is find an individual to watch and find out as much information about that person as possible. I just wanted to see if you could corroborate some of that information about uh, it is because a lot of people think the Freemasons are this innocent boys club, and they're not really demonic or satanic. And I just want to see if you can corroborate that as well, my brother.
I mean, yeah, I believe for a fact that if you have a family member that tied with the Illuminati or Freemasonry or Eastern Stars or anything that has to do with secret, sacred rituals and demonic activity and blood sacrifices. Um, if you come from that bloodline where people in your family are doing those type of things,
Brother,
and
this
you happen to be the one individual who doesn't do what they do, then most definitely you will be a targeted individual. Most definitely, your life will be hard. You know what I'm saying? But Joshua, you know what I'm saying, said it was going to be tough. You know what I'm saying? For the people of Israel. You know what I'm saying? The people who stand in the truth. Um, I can't remember what scripture it is, but it said something about like when you follow the Lord, everybody's going to hate you, or you might have a lot of enemies. I can't remember the scripture off the top of my head, but yeah. So basically, that's what's going on. Like, yeah, if you are in a family that is involved in these demonic, satanic rituals, then 100%, yes, you will be a targeted individual, especially if you don't stand by what they stand by. So the response to that is yes, most definitely, you will be a targeted individual because you are different. You bring spiritual light to the table, and they're about destruction, manipulation, and darkness. And you're bringing the opposite of darkness. You're bringing light. You're bringing holiness. You're bringing godliness, righteousness. You know what I'm saying? Things that Joshua wanted his followers to do. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, most
yeah,
definitely.
bro.
Yeah,
Most definitely.
yeah, most def, man. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be groundbreaking, and it's going to provoke a lot of thought in the individuals who are viewing this video. And our goal is to promote awareness. Our goal is not to entertain, because some people are under the auspice that brothers in the truth make videos for entertainment, but when it's really to promote awareness, because that's what it's all about. Because we got to know for sure that you yourself, I'm talking to the listener, you yourself can be a targeted individual, and you don't even know it. And you don't want to be destroyed for lack of knowledge. You want to know what's going on, know where to move, how to move, and stay prayed up. Put the full armor of the Lord on. And it can be anybody. It could be those who you love the most, or it could be uh, just one of those Freemasons in your neighborhood who got one of those compasses on their license plate. You know.
In these last days, your family will betray you. I just, for all you people that say, "Oh, blood is thicker than water," and "Oh, that's my cousin would never do that," "Oh, that's my brother," or "That's my sister," "Oh, they could never do that." You'd be surprised.
Oh yeah.
With your family, you'd be with your family members behind your back.
Oh yeah.
You'd be surprised, and I'm talking immediate family, from mother to brother to sister to cousin to whoever. You'll be surprised when people say when you're not present.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
but you know what Christ said?
Days,
you know what the Bible say? He who loves mother or father more than me is not worthy of me. He who loves his son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. So, when people start to trust and love individuals to the point where they putting them over the most high, and what his words say, that's considered idolatry. And a lot of people don't understand that. Don't ever make another person an idol. Don't ever look at another person as an idol. Always depend on the most high first before anybody.
I want to say another thing. I'll probably be making a video about this on my page real soon, but we can make one about this too if you want, brother. But basically, basically this is what it is. Your family is not the people that's related to you. Family is the ones who you connect with spiritually. That's your real family. Not just because you came out of the same mother and y'all have the same blood. No, your family is the people in this realm that you the people who make you happy. That is your real family. The ones who make you happy. The ones you make happy. The ones that you connect with, laugh with, hang out with. That's your real family. Don't think somebody's your family just because they're the same blood as you. Having the same blood doesn't mean you have the same spirit.
That's real, brother.
You can have the same blood, but doesn't mean you have the same spirit. Doesn't mean you have the same outlook on life.
They cutting you off, brother. Hey, brother, you're muffled.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, your phone is breaking up. Yeah.
So basically, what I was is your family, not the one that you're related to blood-wise. Your family is the one that you connect with spiritually. That's your real family. You know what I'm saying? You can have the same blood, but y'all might have a different spirit and different outlook on. So in these last days, what I was trying to say was your family will betray you. So don't be surprised if you get in a situation, you go, "Oh man, I didn't know my brother could do that, or my sister could do this, or my nephew or my niece could do that." Hey man, this is spiritual warfare, brother.
Oh yeah.
It's spiritual warfare, and in these last days, people don't give a fuck about you. Everybody's about self, man.
And I'm gonna
everybody's about their goddamn self.
And still, let me tell you something else too. A lot of family members will do something and say it's out of love. They use the word love as a weapon against us. And I'm just saying the powers that be and taught us the word love and they used it as a weapon. Let me give you an example. If you look at Joel Osteen's church, we seen his true colors when the hurricane hit. All Joel Osteen does is get on the pulpit and talk about love, love, love. It's about love. And the word love is used in such a manipulative way that people will do harm to you. They'll do something that'll destroy you. They'll send you to the government. They'll have FEMA at your door. They'll have police at your door. And they'll say, you know what? Why I did that to you? Because I love you. You understand? That's how serious it is. They'll use the word love.
I've had a lot of family members say that to me.
Yeah.
And that comes and see what that comes down to is the role of being a narcissist.
Mm.
A narcissist is basically like they do something to you that makes you feel uncomfortable, right? But then when you do the same thing to them, it's like, oh, nah, you can't do that to me. I can do it to you, though. I can tell you you're stupid, but you can't tell me I'm stupid. I
Yeah.
can tell you you're not intelligent, but you can't tell me that I'm not intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can tell you you're a piece of shit. But as soon as you tell me that I'm a piece of shit, oh, then it's World War III, nigga. And see, that's what a narcissist is. I can do to you, but you can't do to me.
Right.
The government that we live under is a fucking narcissistic government. A narcissistic government. I can beat you in the head with a police stick, but as soon as you try to fight me back, oh nigga, you doing 7 years for fighting a cop.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? How many brothers have been shot by police officers and didn't even have a strap on them?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? They didn't even have a gun on them. Niggas still got their ass cut.
Yeah.
You hear these stupid. What's going on? It's just, you with a good shot. Nigga, how many niggas pay attention and still got shot?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So.
And you know that's the mentality, and that's the mentality that the powers that be done created. Narcissistic. And that's why we're trying to help everybody. That's why we're speaking this to promote, I would say promote awareness to everybody. Because you got to understand what you're dealing with here. Everybody that you see walking the streets aren't what you think they are. A lot of people, listen, just like the Most High God has angelic forces, don't think for a second that Satan don't have demonic forces that take physical form, that walk around you every day. I mean, I know.
It's like the spirit world.
Yeah, there are people who shapeshift, man. I'm talking about eyes morph, face morph.
Yep.
I'm talking about because they're not humans, bro. Like
Hillary Clinton.
yeah, y'all can call me what y'all want. Hey, New Breed, a conspiracy. Listen, I don't give a damn what you say. Everybody, I don't know if y'all from the city, but I grew up in the city areas, and I'm speaking to my subscribers. I already know where you from, fam. But anyway, if you get on a subway, you can't tell me everybody on that damn subway is humans, man. Seriously.
No.
Everybody, seriously, man. It's some strange creatures walking the earth. And you know that the government itself, they using CERN, they fracking the earth, cracking open the ground. You know what I'm saying? They using weapons to basically bring demons into society to make demons more prevalent to keep everybody under control. They use demonic forces to control society.
Another thing is, if you could see the spiritual realm, you'll be surprised how many demons are circling certain people when they're walking down the street.
Yeah.
Like, it's certain people that got like 10 demons around them while they're walking down the street. In the spiritual realm, it's like if you're praising God, you got like the armor. Like, you got 2 angels over you everywhere you walk, and you got like the armor spiritually. But then the people who are demons, they got like all types of lizards and snakes. You see certain buildings, like you go to New York, you see certain buildings. Some of those buildings have spiritual snakes circling those buildings, man.
Yeah.
Spiritual snakes on top of the building. Certain buildings that tall demonic figures on top of the buildings, man, that you can't even see, bro. But they're there, bro.
Yeah.
Because it's the spiritual realm, bro. And the closest you can get to the spirit realm is your dream state. So never take your dreams lightly, because when you have a dream, that is the Most High communicating with you in the spirit. So never take your dreams lightly, especially if you're a spiritual person of the Most High Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times you say, oh, it's just a dream, it'll be nothing. A lot of people just push it away. But if you read the scripture, if I'm not mistaken, Joseph was a dreamer.
Yeah.
In the scripture, Joseph had brothers. And see, look, that's gang stalking. Look at how many brothers Joseph had. They was all hating on him.
Mm-hmm.
That's gang stalking.
Yeah,
that's gang stalking. So that gang stalking has been going on from the beginning of time.
Well, that makes a lot of sense, brother. And you know what? It just got highly sophisticated with it now through that technology and agencies that's been funded. And you know, I think you really quantified what this is, and put it on a wide spectrum for all those to actually understand this and fathom this. The truth is not an easy pill to swallow, but it's got to come a time where you swallow that pill, digest it, and get energy from it. Because the truth, at the end of the day, it may be scary to some or stranger than fiction to some, but guess what? That truth is a beautiful thing once you got it and you know it, man. So, stay woke, man.
And I just want to give y'all, before we end this video, I want to give y'all a couple of symbols to know that you're being gangsta. One of the symbols is gaslighting. When they come in your house and move things around, they don't steal nothing, but they'll just move things. They'll move your book here, they'll move your milk over there, they'll move out to the. And another thing they do is you'll always see somebody with a cell phone walking past you. If you see that a lot, like people always walking past you on a consistent basis with cell phones, that's how they connect with each other. They do little signals or signs to each other in the mall. So you might be in the mall, and there might be 5 people gang stalking you at the mall, throwing signals at each other with their nose and fingers and stuff like that, moving their hat a certain way, moving their head to the right, the left, certain directions. You know what I'm saying? And another thing they do is they come with book bags. That's one of their symbols is a book bag. So if you see somebody with a book bag almost passing you, that's one of their symbols. And look, man, I don't care if it sounds crazy to certain people, certain listeners. Go do your research on what they do, man. These people are fools, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what they do. I'm ready to back the new breed.
Yeah, fam. Man, this is a great interview, man. Yeah, I think we really quantified this, and man, I like to thank you for, what I'm saying, being interviewed, and I understand that your security got to be high right now, and I understand what's going on. Just know that, hey, it's millions of brothers going through what you're going through, millions of brothers and sisters going through this, and man, you just shined a light and gave hope to a lot of people, man. And I like to thank you for the interview, brother. For sure, we're gonna definitely have more. We definitely gonna have more.
Oh yeah, you already know, man. It's always a blessing. You know what I'm saying, to do an interview with you, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, most definitely.
I mean, shit, even the old interview we did, you know what I'm saying, back in the day, had a lot of views. So,
oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah. But I'd like to thank everybody for viewing. Hit that thumbs up if this video came to great help. Thanks for subscribing. Shalom, stay woke, and peace.
And another thing, y'all can also follow me on my YouTube channel at Young Steel 703 all day. You know what I'm saying? I'm a music artist. I do music. I'm working on a project, and I got 2 EPs I'm about to drop. And I got a video on my channel called Young Steel Line of Judah. So go look out for that, man.
Most definitely.